Which one of you is going to do it? Huh? Which one of you is going to tell a lie and say that I'm not pulling this off? Huh? I'm listening. Anybody? No? That's what I thought. Is this era specific? I don't know. Is it comfortable? God, no. It feels like I have a raccoon strapped to my forehead. But are the vibes right? Oh yeah. Because we're watching Pride and Prejudice today, and the only thing that you have to be in this video is prideful and prejudiced. I am both. Today specifically. A couple of quick pieces of business. As always, we are drinking a Segazio Zinfandel 2022. It is pretty good. I've already cracked into it. And as a new addition, guys, team, family, lovers, I feel like I've been swearing a lot on camera lately. I don't know what's giving me that gut feeling. But the feeling is there. And so we are implementing a swear jar. I am going to rely on you for this. If you wouldn't mind counting somebody how many times I swear in a video, I'm going to put that amount of money in here. And I think what we'll do is we will donate that money to something, someone, some cause at the end of the year. Based on historic actions, it'll be a fair amount of money. So hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit of good. And the last thing I have before we start is the Patreon. It has already been up for 2 weeks and we've made some changes. Most notably, I am now posting on there every Monday. We hit stretch goals, which is that at 500 members and 1,000 members, we are going to be doing 1 extra live reaction video and then 2 extra live reaction videos exclusive to the Patreon. So if you want to join us over there and join the community and get involved with us, that link is in the bio. And if you are a part of the Patreon, you have already seen this get up. So welcome back. Don't know anything about this. Don't know what actors are in it other than Elizabeth Swann. But we have 2 hours and 8 minutes of being prideful and prejudiced ahead of us. Let's dive in. God, can I wear this wig the whole time? I think I got to ditch the wig. I don't know if it fits with these headphones. Gonna rock the 8th grade Bieber hair today. Let us begin. Oh God, I can already tell the vibes are gonna be immaculate. Maybe it is the fact that I'm getting older, but this just looks like the most perfect morning. Waking up to a beautiful open field, watching the sun come up, listening to the birds, having a cup of coffee on the porch. Oh, the people that I wouldn't hurt to have that. Elizabeth Swann! Do we know what book this is? Or is it kind of just like a stand-in? Oh, this would be so lovely to live in. I mean, no air conditioning or inside toilets or probably refrigeration, but just the scenery. You know what I mean? Oh, the Gone Girl lady. Okay, 2 for 2 on the cast. I love it. Rosamund Pike, I think she's the one that did the audiobook narration that I listened to. I don't think this guy's feeding those ducks, geese, the way that he should. It feels very like, was there just not enough to do in the day so you throw it out 1 handful at a time instead of just putting a line down in front of them? Not how I would feed the geese. President Snow! Oh, this is nice. Worlds colliding. Everybody keeps saying that the miniseries is much more accurate than this one, but to be honest with you, this is exactly how I imagined it. All of these characters are exactly how I imagined them.
Have you no compassion for my poor nerve?
I have the highest respect for them. They've been my constant companion.
President Snow is nailing this. Sarcastic, a little self-centered, but a heart of gold. A wife who wants the best for her children and fights for it. And a bunch of pining daughters who want to marry a man for $5,000 a year, whatever that means. The question is, which one of these is the one that gets kidnapped? We know it's not the 2 on the left because that's Elizabeth and Jane. So one of the 2 on the right get kidnapped, have no idea about it, and are actually thrilled that it happens. The one in the back is the one that I don't know anything about. To be honest with you, the way that she's dressed kind of makes me think that she is a servant. Oh God, I would fit into this so well. Look at this. I need another thing around the neck, I think, to really fit in. Or perhaps it's a vest. Am I missing a vest? Is that it?
Every man in the room does not end the evening in love with you, that I am no judge of beauty.
They're not all bad.
Humorless poppycocks in my limited experience.
What kind of an insult? A humorless poppycock? Oh, I'd like to look a man in the eyes and call him that. That's such a good insult. All right, where is he? I know that Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy are in this room somewhere. Oh, serious all of a sudden. There they are. Come to ruin the party. Before I see their faces, one of the things from the book video is that it is stated that Darcy is supposed to be like exponentially more handsome than Mr. Bingley. And if they're not, riots. It's Tom Wambsgans. I don't know why they didn't click until just now. That is Tom Ludicrously Capacious Bag Wambsgans.
Because she's brought a ludicrously capacious bag. What's even in there? Her lunch pail?
I don't know if I can say he is more handsome than the other guy. The other guy's so much younger than him. His face is as arrogant as I thought it would be. It currently looks like he's trying to make a diamond in his ass. The same with the sister. I don't know what's going on there. Mr. Bingley just looks like he's just happy to be there. Final determination though. I am missing both a vest and a cravat, but we tried.
Look at Mr. Bennet. You must introduce him to the girls immediately.
Is Mrs. Bennet in Harry Potter, or am I just getting her confused with somebody in Harry Potter because she has an English accent?
I'm delighted to make your acquaintance.
Why is your face doing that, man? You're at a party. Have a good time. Those autism theories are starting to come to the forefront. Jane and Bingley hitting it off. We're off to a good start. And to think that Darcy wanted to break them up. Look at them. They're clearly in love. It's been 5 minutes. How do you watch this happen as Mr. Darcy and want to break them up? It's lovely.
Will you dance, Mr. Darcy?
Not if I can help it.
This movie's gonna drive me insane. Bro, fix your fucking face. Swear jar. Ugh.
But her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable.
Not handsome enough to tempt me.
I mean, Elizabeth is making the right face right now if somebody said that about you. What a dickhead. But also, it's Keira Knightley. Like, what do you mean she's not attractive? Look at her. I will say that Bingley is not what I pictured from the book. Not physical appearance aside, I just mean his extremely outgoing nature and bubbly personality. I don't remember that being how he was described. He's the only one so far that doesn't feel exact to me.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing, even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
Oh, burn. I like her a lot. Come on. And it makes so much more sense in the movie than it does the book, because right here, he's very clearly having his walls broken down. That would be the beginning of it, of him going, okay, she's going to spar with me. I see you. He needs to be put in his place to walk into a room like this and think that he's immediately above everybody. If you think that, then why'd you show up?
Die, Mr. Bennet, which may in fact be very soon.
3 paintings of the same woman from the same angle? Decorations department getting a little lazy.
Well, if Jane does die, it'd be a comfort to know it was in pursuit of Mr. Bingley.
I saw a lot of comments of people saying that they didn't like Mr. Bennet. I don't know how that is possible. He is the perfect amount of jackass. He is exactly who I aspire to be. It's not overtly rude. It still has an air of authority and honor to it. What else could you want to be?
Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
How much do you think they pay that guy to just do that job? Announce people and disappear. How much do you think they pay the 2 people in the corner to just stand there with wigs that were worse than mine?
Lord, Miss Elizabeth, did you walk here? My goodness, did you see her hem? 6 inches deep in mud.
Have I mentioned to you that I don't like Bingley's sister? Now's a good time to do that. I don't like Bingley's sister. Maybe Darcy is always in a bad mood because he's constantly with her.
Not related to the learned pig of Norwich.
What in Christ's name? That just felt unnecessary to show. That's not a part of anything.
I cannot boast of knowing more than half a dozen women in all my acquaintance that are truly accomplished.
And a misogynistic pig to boot? I know how this ends, and I'm back to not liking him.
Miss Elizabeth, let us take a turn about the room.
Wait, are they actually just walking around the room? That's the whole activity? I'd have put a gun in my mouth in 1830. If there's one thing that I would have perfected, it's the noose.
A Mrs. Bennet, a Miss Bennet, a Miss Bennet, and a Miss Bennet.
I don't know what he's paid, but it's not enough.
I think a ball is a perfectly irrational way to gain new acquaintance.
Thank you, Mary.
Maybe Mary and Darcy should have ended up together because they have the same social understanding. What was that? What was that? A lingering touch? What's she looking at right now? Is she looking at his hand? That feels too early, but also I like it. The more they spar, the more he comes around, right? People are gonna hate me at the end of this because the words that I'm gonna say are, I think that movie was better than the book. And then y'all are gonna go like, what the f? But I like what I'm seeing. I didn't cuss that time, no swear jar. Cousin fucker, also from Pirates of the Caribbean. Look at that. That's the exact haircut that I would think a cousin fucker would have. Small of stature, receding hairline, cousin fucker genetics. Let's see those teeth.
I'm honoured to have as my patroness Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Boo!
Spare it, the entire sex.
Yours, I believe.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, how perfect you are.
Wickham? Oh, why is he good looking? I don't want him to be good looking. There's some scientific term for our inherent belief that people who are good looking are equally as good on the outside as they are on the inside. It's why people say that good looking people have life on easy mode. I know that I want him to die violently, but he's got a face that you want to root for, doesn't he? Well, with the second look, he does kind of have snake-like features. Small teeth, you know?
Mr. Wickham, he is a credit to his profession. Lydia, you can't...
Of course, you must come, Mr. Wickham.
Mortal enemies, they don't like each other. What doesn't make sense about that scene is that why, if Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy are good friends, wouldn't Mr. Bingley know that Mr. Darcy doesn't like him? And if he knows that, why would he invite Wickham to the ball?
What is the manner of your disapproval of Mr. Darcy?
My father managed his estate.
True.
We grew up together.
True.
Darcy and I loved me like a son.
True.
We were both with him the day he died.
I don't remember.
But Darcy ignored his wishes and gave the living to another man.
But why?
Jealousy.
False.
Well, he loved me better and Darcy couldn't stand it.
False.
So now I'm a poor foot soldier, too lowly even to be noticed.
I think the women notice you, bud. Let's not sulk too hard. Literally fangirling over you in the street. This guy just makes me laugh just looking at him. I feel bad about that. I don't mean to harp on this. I just don't understand how the BBC version could be more accurate. Yes, there are like a little bit of story things that could be more accurate, but in terms of the vibe, I feel at home. This is the world that I want to exist in.
Well, her ladyship included have complimented me on my lightness of foot.
If he wasn't trying to have sex with his cousin, he would be perfect. I love him as a concept. The facial expressions, the way he talks, his lightness of foot.
It is my intention to remain close to you throughout the evening.
How can you not love this guy? Vampire. Fun vampire. He just shows up and you go, oh, damn it. Swear jar.
Why do you ask such a question?
Kiss, kiss, kiss. Oh, you could cut the friction with a knife. You know what I mean. They took everybody else out of the room. I bet the first time they do it, it's just hate sex. All they do is argue in the most respectful way you've ever heard. Look at her walking away. Does that seem like a face that is like, hey, I really enjoyed this encounter? But the tension between them is palpable.
Mr. Darcy, Mr. Darcy, Mr. Darcy.
This poor guy. I want to adopt him. Oh no, don't have him picking flowers. It's so sad. Don't let my laughing fool you. It's sad. Oh, dirty. I'm assuming that's a hangover cure, but that would just make me sick.
I was hoping, if it would not trouble you, that I might solicit a private audience with Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, he's gonna do it. This is gonna bring my heart so much joy. Elizabeth's face.
Jane, don't. Jane.
Bro, this movie's perfect. Come on.
I thoroughly approve when I speak to her of your modesty and other amiable qualities.
Oh, what a beautifully poetic proposal. How could you say no to that? I can't wait to marry you and spend eternity with your perfectly amiable qualities. How my heart soars for your amiable qualities.
You could not make me happy, and I'm convinced I'm the last woman in the world who could make you happy.
So I must conclude that you simply seek to increase my love by suspense.
Will you marry me? No, God, Christ, no. I don't think you mean it. I swear to God, I mean it. I'm telling you, I don't want to do this. I hear what you're saying. I'll try again tomorrow. Don't laugh at him. Good God, he controls your future. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I don't care how much it costs. I'll take 10 of them.
Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. I will never see you again if you do.
How do you hate that man? How is it that people look at him and go, that's a bad dad? That is extremely book accurate, by the way, though there's word for word what he says. I understand that it puts the family at jeopardy, but he's also caring about what his daughter wants and listening to that. He sees that she doesn't want to marry him, and he's willing to risk that for her to find happiness somewhere else. I respect the hell out of it.
What's the matter? Jane?
No, don't leave. She loves you and you love her. Stay. Get her off screen. I don't need her. We were having such a good time together, and now they just leave to go back to the city. I hate it. I hate it.
I've come here to tell you the news. Mr. Collins and I are engaged. I'm 27 years old. I've no money and no prospects.
That's where this is from? I knew the meme, but I didn't know it was from this movie. This is ass. You know what she's doing right now is she's basically explaining that she's going to be taking over Elizabeth's home. As I learned from you all, Mr. Bennet doesn't have any male heirs. So if he dies, Mr. Collins gets the whole estate and the girls are just kicked out. And they would be kicked out because of Elizabeth's best friend. I think this movie could have done a better job of explaining that this situation is detrimental to the Bennet daughters.
I found many improvements, of course. I intend to throw out the bow.
They do him so dirty. I take back every bad thing I ever said about him. I want him. I want him in my house.
Received an invitation to visit Rosings this evening from Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Oh, we're about to meet Miss Catherine de Bourgh. I have hate in my heart. And I'm going to go in with an open mind, but with hate in my heart.
So you are Elizabeth Bennet?
I am, your ladyship.
Darcy out of nowhere.
Mr. Darcy, what are you doing here?
That was my question.
Colonel Fitzwilliam, how'd you do?
Oh, shut up. Nobody wants you here.
Upon my word, you give your opinion very decidedly for so young a person.
You're going to have to explain to me in the comments what you mean by this not being extremely accurate. A lot of the dialogue is straight from the book. This exact conversation happened, and it's really good to know that the hate I harbor in my heart is well placed. I would never wish violence on old people. You need to respect them, as our Bible says. But perhaps her age could take her sooner than later. That feels like a good compromise. Doesn't it, Miss de Bourgh? What are you doing there? That was abrupt. Oh, he's not going to do it right now, is he?
This is a charming house. I believe my aunt did a great deal to it when Mr. Collins first arrived.
What's happening right now?
I believe so. She could not have bestowed her kindness on a more grateful subject.
I'm waiting.
Shall I call for some tea?
No, thank you. Good day, Miss Elizabeth. It's been a pleasure.
What in God's name? I'm sure however I chop this up, it's going to look like I cut out all of the dialogue. I promise you, I left in every single word that was said in that interaction. It has to be the autism.
What on earth have you done to poor Mr. Darcy?
You turned him on so much his brain stopped working. It's so pretty. Look at this environment.
I have struggled in vain and I can bear it no longer. These past months have been a torment and ask you to end my agony.
I don't understand.
I love you.
I'm gonna watch the whole thing, but I got words for you.
Please do me the honor of accepting my hand.
Don't say yes.
Think of anything might tempt me to accept a man who has ruined, perhaps forever, the happiness of a most beloved sister.
I watched them most carefully and realized his attachment was deeper than hers.
How, sir?
It was the lack of propriety shown by your mother, your 3 younger sisters, even on occasion your father.
I need this scene to end. I have so many thoughts.
And what about Mr. Wickham?
Oh, no, we're putting it all on the table. Don't go on for a kiss. What are you doing?
Forgive me, madam, for taking up so much of your time.
No! That whole situation was just as abrupt as in the book. I didn't buy it in the book. I don't buy it in this. I know it's not the modern day. That's not. If I counted how many words they've said to each other up until this point, it is less than 100 total. He said more words to her in this singular scene than he has in the past year of knowing her. All of the reasoning makes sense. It's just like the sequence of events that build up to it. In no version of Marvel's multiverse do 2 people have the interactions that these 2 have had, and then one day the man shows up and goes, I'm in love with you, marry me. She is rightfully confused. He is an idiot. I also didn't get the feeling that Jane was indifferent to him. I saw the longing looks. I don't know any of these people. The relationship made sense to me. So I do think the movie could have done a better job there of showing her being like just disinterested. And also, if you've never read the book and you see this would be the most confusing thing known to mankind.
I came to leave you this.
He's showing up with the letter though.
As to the other matter, that of your sister and Mr. Bingley, though the motives which governed me may to you appear insufficient, they were in the service of a friend.
That's how they get you, isn't it? Because in my head, I don't like the storytelling. I genuinely hate it. In my heart, I'm here for their romance. If I had had 2 scenes leading up to this that felt like there was just a bit more romance between them, I'd be screaming at the screen right now for them to get together. And I get that that's not the point of the story. it feels like the point of this movie. This is a very romantic movie.
I am certain the officers will find women better if they're wild. In a way, she can hardly grow any worse.
All right, I can kind of see some of the complaints against him now. Maybe not the best way to speak about your daughter. Well, I'll be damned if this isn't the most random scene that's ever been put in a movie. What am I watching right now? It's gorgeous. I mean, it's magnificently gorgeous, but what the hell does it have to do with anything? I don't think you understand the laws that I would break for something like this. This is Darcy's home. This is where she would move into. I don't care how much she hates him. You're obliged to say yes to a proposal if this is where the guy lives. That's crazy. That's crazy to carve that out of marble. I don't know why. It's just so plump. War crimes. You name the war crime, I do it 2 or 3 times. If that's what I get to look out of my window and see every day. Hell, 5 times. Mr. Darcy's in the house. Haha! Confront each other. Fall in love and kiss. Now that I'm past the fuckery of the storytelling that I don't make sense, I want them to end up together because they're both prideful and they're both prejudiced and they're both doing their best to overcome it. And isn't that what life is all about?
We would not have come early. Some business with my steward.
Look at them fumbling over the words to talk to each other because they are so in love with each other. Just get together already, you crazy kids.
May I see you back to the village?
No.
What? No, don't.
I'd fond of walking.
Yes.
Say yes! Walk with him.
Yes, I know.
He loves walking too.
Bye, Mr. Darcy.
Ah! Chaser. Chaser.
But he says you play so well. Then he has perjured himself most profoundly.
No, I said played quite well.
Oh, quite well is not very well. I'm satisfied.
What? This is what I mean. Why couldn't I have gotten 30 seconds of this earlier on? I know, I've heard. You're gonna berate the shit out of me in the comments. I'm just gonna say this and I'll put it to bed. Would it have been so difficult to have a couple seconds of like playful, fun banter the way that they're having now, and then all of the bad things to come out to where it can go like, oh, we like each other. Oh, we don't like each other. It was, we hate each other. We hate each other. We hate each other. We hate each other. I love you. I have difficulty with that. I have difficulty with that. This feels natural. It feels like the way that they always should have spoken to each other. Can you take anything that I'm saying seriously when I'm wearing this? Kind of forget I have it on. Well, now what?
Lydia has run away with Mr. Wickham.
She's been kidnapped by Mr. Wickham.
This is grave indeed. I will leave you. Goodbye.
Goddamn kidnapping victim doesn't even know it. How is Mr. Bennet cordial to him right there? I would pull out a flint pistol and shoot him square in the chest. He stole his daughter and ransomed her for money.
Darcy was at your wedding.
He was the one that discovered us.
Well, this is not at all how this happened, but I'll take it. He goes up there, he does what he has to, he pays the money to win his woman back. A gentleman and a jackass, but we take it. Get the fuck out of the house. How he can stand there with a straight face after everything he's done. Unbelievable.
He's here! He's at the door! Mr. Bingley!
Mr. Bingley?
He's coming back for his woman.
Everybody behave naturally.
It's a good thing everybody's acting naturally. I can't imagine a more natural way for people to act.
My Jane looks well. Does she not?
Does indeed. Well, we must be going, I think.
All right, this might be my favorite scene yet.
Excuse me. We were going to walk in, and she was going to say, sit down now. No.
Man, just go back and get her. Come on. All you have to say is like, hey, do you want to take a walk around the lake?
Look, it's him! He's back, he's come again!
I know this is all very untoward, but I would like to request the privilege of speaking to Miss Bennet.
Tell her everything you feel. Come on. Get in there.
Alone. I must tell you I've been the most unmitigated and comprehensive and...
Yes, 1,000 times.
I mean, hug or kiss or something. Come on.
Oh, Lizzie, if I could but see you so happy, if there was such another man for you.
There is. Tell her.
Perhaps Mr. Collins has a cousin.
No, come on, tell her. You're in love with Mr. Darcy, admit it.
Lady Catherine.
Oh, shit. Fuck off. Swear jar, swear jar, swear jar.
You have a very small garden, madam.
I hate this lady so much. You show up and insult somebody's garden, and then you're like, I demand things.
And will you promise never to enter into such an engagement?
I will not, and I certainly never shall. Must ask you to leave immediately.
Oh, it's a mishmash of scenes. That is not how that happened. They went on a stroll in the middle of the day. The gist is the same. A lot of the words are the same. And my hate is at an all-time high. The arrogance of an individual. If he's engaged to somebody else, who does this lady think that she is? That she's going to force a 40-year-old man, that's got to be his age, to marry her daughter? What? How does that make sense? Look at that rugged son of a bitch coming across the field. Propose again, please. I need this. Where's he walking from? Doesn't he live really far away from here? This might be the most majestic walk in the history of cinema. Oh, it's daytime by the time he gets there. Okay, think you guys could have timed that one out better when you were filming it.
You must know. Surely you must know it was all for you.
Now I know that. You're a little cryptic in the beginning, buddy.
My affections and wishes have not changed.
Yes, I'm gonna get everything I wanted.
One word from you
Gonna get everything in the book fucked up.
You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you.
I love you too. Say something.
Your hands are cold.
No. No. Y'all are gonna hate this, but I disagree. In the book, it says very emphatically that Elizabeth informs him her feelings have changed. I don't think that that's a euphemism for something as in like they kissed or whatever. I think that they had a conversation. Elizabeth is a very intelligent, eloquently spoken woman. I don't think that she walks up, grabs his hand and goes, "Your hands are cold." And then that's the end of the situation. He just gave this glowing, loving speech about how he still loves her and he wants to know if she feels the same. This series is going to be the end of me. It's going to be the death of me. You could have given me 2 sentences of dialogue and it would have fixed so much pain.
We all know him to be a proud, unpleasant sort of fellow. This would be nothing if you really liked him.
I don't know why. That's funny, but the idea of like, yeah, he's got these really horrendous flaws, but it doesn't really matter if you like him. I think it does still matter. You're gonna deal with that your entire marriage. And she gets to live in the house. Oh, I love that house. You look like they're about to be sacrificed to some goddess.
Why?
You may only call me Mrs. Darcy when you are completely and perfectly and incandescently happy.
That was a beautiful movie. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful. Although I think I'm equally conflicted as I was with the book, but maybe in different ways. I'm going to gather my thoughts and I'll be back. 8 out of 10. There's really no point in beating around the bush here. 8 out of 10, which may be the highest score I have given a movie yet. Not really saying a ton, being that we've only done Hunger Games and Twilight, but this movie was hilarious and beautifully cinematic. I did not expect so many genuine laugh out loud moments while feeling so ingrained in the world. The costumes, decor, the manner, the balls, the dialogue, the music. A lot of you told me about the music. You were so right. Did I love everything? No, I think I aired my grievances and that's why we are deducting 2 points. But I am now going to say the sentence that I warned you I was going to say, and you can take it up with your college professor. I really don't give a fuck. The movie was better. You were right that there were some things that they glossed over and moments that they changed, but ultimately I really feel like they stuck to the heart of the story. Even to my detriment, nothing was really egregiously changed. Even when Bingley proposed to Jane, or the second time when Darcy proposed to Elizabeth, in the book they cut away, and in the movie they cut away. I think I gave myself whiplash, though, from trying to make the Darcy and Elizabeth storyline make sense emotionally for myself. Early on, I was unapologetically on board. I was saying things like, this is logical, this is headed where I wanted it to be. And then he proposed the first time out in the rain, and I got the PTSD. I got the PTSD from the book. Can I understand how he got there? Yes, absolutely. Do I agree with it? Christ, no. He has a mental disorder. But that's life and this is growth. I really want you to take note of this moment because I'm just doing such a good job of leading by example. You know, I wanted this to be a love story, and at its core, it's not. And although you have to watch me go through that, and I'm sure that that's very difficult, I am the one who has to reconcile that and face that truth, which I haven't done yet. But it's the thought that counts, and that's what being a leader is. So at this point, you may be wondering, Lynn, what is next? What time period or literotic masterpiece are we going to indulge ourselves with? And the answer, my friends, is 2011, the year of Divergent.